Hello, and welcome to the Palos Verdes Peninsula Unified School District school lottery options for Cornerstone and the dual immersion program at Lunada Bay. We're going to walk through the process. I'm going to give you a couple of bits of information about enrollment, opportunities, and space available, and then we'll go through the actual lottery process itself, talk through what that looks like, and then what next steps are. With that, we're going to get started. So this is just a summary of the total requests that came in during March. You can see on the left column, you have the name of the grade or the program. And then in the column next to that, we have the total seats available for that particular class or grade level. And then the total number of requests that we actually received for that program. If we had more requests than we actually have seats available, you'll see that request exceeds the grade level capacity or program capacity. We also take into account the fact that if an applying student has an existing sibling at that site that will remain in the program, we want to make sure that those families are prioritized. So looking at that and verifying the families that have told us that information, that number is here. And then based on the seats after we have prioritized the siblings, how many new students can we accept to that particular program? So just I'm going to go through this little list really quickly, or not too quickly. The dual immersion kindergarten at Lunada Bay, we had a total of 28 seats available. We had 27 requests for kindergarten. So all of those families will have a confirmation sent. We're not going to do a lottery for you because we're approving all of them. As we get into the Cornerstone, it's a little bit different, and I'm going to try and explain the nuances of this. With TK being a four-year-old program, really a fully four-year-old program starting the 25-26 school year, those class ratios go 20 students to one teacher. So we've elected to have two TKs at Cornerstone for the fall, which gives us a total of 40 seats available for students to have. We had a total of 44 requests, so unfortunately we won't be able to accommodate 4 students that have requested this program. And that is a hard cap. That is not a district setting. That is a state law. So just keep that in mind as we talk through the rest of the other grade levels. Oh, that's fun. Sorry about that. So as we look at that, I can see that with TK, I have 16 TK applicants that have a sibling already, so we're going to prioritize that placement. And then we have 24 spots for those new siblings. For kindergarten through third grade, we have a little bit different formula, and it is also state law, but it ties to a grade level average. So between kindergarten and third grade, we have to keep an average of less than 24.5 for all of those grade levels for the first call it 7 months of school. So we look at that. We try to keep it as close to 24 as possible, but we do have a little wiggle room so we can get up to or near that 24.5. Now, we already have first and second and third grader that are over 24, and some of them are close to 28. So that's why for our baseline purposes, I set Cornerstone, the capacity at first and second and third grade to 0 for initial baseline purposes. Kindergarten, we have a TK class that's matriculating. We're going to have 2 kindergarten classes at that school. So that gives us that gives us 25 seats that are available for new families to attend or new students to attend. We had a total number of 32 requests for kindergarten. So unfortunately, we won't be able to accommodate 7 of those just off of baseline. And then of those 32 applicants, 6 had a sibling already that was confirmed at the school. So we'll have 19 seats available for new students. Now, again, with that average, what I want to do is I'm going to run all of the lottery for TK and Kinder, but then I also want to run all of these other grade levels between K and 3 that exceed capacity. So I want to include all of those families in that number because if I can go over 24 to 1 and then still accommodate some requests and get us close to our baseline of 0 for 24.5 or 0 seats available, then that's what we're going to do. So that's my goal. I won't really know the math until we actually run the process today and see what that looks like, and then who would be prioritized in that sequence. So we're going to look through all those things. As we get into 4th and 5th grade, we don't have the same requirements. So those classes can be a little bit bigger. and or are a little bit bigger just in nature. And so we had 9 requests, or we had 9 seats available for 4th grade. We had 6 total requests. So obviously we're going to approve all of those. And then Cornerstone 5th grade, we had 5 requests for the 13 seats available. So we're also going to approve those. So I think just the most important part is understanding why we're looking at kinder through 3rd grade a little bit differently than 4th, 5th, and TK. And I know it's very confusing. So this is what our process is. For this lottery, all students are going to be split into 2 groups. One are the siblings of currently attending students that requested the school. And then the second pot is the new applicants. So each application has to be processed individually. Whether you're applying for 2 twins or 2 siblings at a school, each slot has to be represented uniquely and cannot favor a family over an individual student. So that way the single children families are not at a disadvantage to the seats in the lottery. So that's why one sibling may get in and one might not. That's because each seat has to be treated uniquely. At the time you applied during school of choice, you were given a unique number, and that unique number will be used in place of the student's name as the identification mechanism. So I'm going to take that list of ID numbers. We're going to run it through what's called random.org in their list function, and we will have it auto process or regenerate 10 times. So hopefully that's a very nice number and is as fair as possible for equity and to the program. And then all applicants, I will try to get it done today, but it more than likely won't get done today, but you will be notified of your status tomorrow. You can also see your status inside of Aries, whether you have received the email or not. So if you go to your school of choice page, you'll be able to see the status of your request on that page. Okay. And with that, I want to show you, so these are the student IDs that were, or student numbers that were approved for dual immersion at Lunada Bay for kindergarten specifically. I know we did have a couple of students that applied that were not in the grade range, so they are not listed here. We had, like I said, the 27 kindergarten students. So I'm going to give you a minute to look for your ID number. Okay. And then of the Cornerstone siblings, siblings of students currently attending Cornerstone, that we had 24 students that did meet that threshold. So these students are also automatically approved for Cornerstone. Okay. And with that, I'm going to take us over to the random.org generator. So here we are. I'm going to grab our list of students. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to randomize it 10 times. Okay, and there is our final list. I will zoom in a little bit so you can see it. We will also have a printout here to refer back to. Obviously, I'm going to take the data and put it into something that actually is more manageable so I can get that information, or get those students identified quickly and get that information out to the families as fast as possible. And you can see that we processed 89 rec requests, and the list has been stamped. The list has been processed 10 times. So I'm going to print this. And now we're going to go back here. And this is a summary. All applicants will receive a status confirmation email by the end of day tomorrow. We do not have a wait list because it honestly gives families a false sense that they're actually going to have an opportunity to get in. For the most part, we're doing the best to get as many families in as possible. So if we're not able to accommodate you, there was a reason why, or obviously we hit our capacity. So, but we will have families that are going to let us know that they're moving out. We do have another opportunity between May 15th and June 15th, if you would like to request again, if you were not selected this time. And we don't have an appeal process either. So that is how that all works. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.